Okay, welcome to CSS 299, Wednesday, March 14th, also known as Pi Day. We're going to talk about cover letters today. That's the last thing done. What I'm going to do is I have cover letters from all of you, and so I'm just going to go through each one sequentially and make comments. I will bring them up and share them at the same time. So bear with me while I bring up the first one from Ashley. And I just had a chance to review it. So I'm trying to make sure that I have it. All right, just a second and I'll bring that up. Okay, that ought to work. All right. So I have Ashley's letter here, and what I have up on the screen is my comments. First comment is that the letterhead needs to be identical with that on your resume. It's very critical that you do everything consistently so that there's never any chance of confusion on the part of the people involved. Also, you need to address it to a person. Put an address block, whatever the address is in the job posting. If this is an online posting, and they've asked you to submit a cover letter, a resume, send a cover letter as well. If it's an online posting and they don't give you a physical address to mail it to, prepare a cover letter, and then you will be writing to the company, probably with HR manager or some similar type title. Name the position, Ray, Colorado Park Ranger position here. Then it's dear person, dear HR manager, to whom it may concern. That works well with an email submission, etc. I sort of made things a little bit different. Took a little bit of liberty here. So what she says is she saw the Colorado Park Ranger position on Indeed.com. That's good. People need to know where you found it. And I think I am the best fit for the job. You can say that, or you can say, I think I am an ideal fit for the job. In fact, I will change that now. Just maybe I'm not. Yeah. I am an ideal fit for the job. Submitting my resume to be considered for the position includes the Northern Front Range areas, etc. An avid archery and rifle big game hunter, and a fly fisherman and ice fishing enthusiast as well. Get out into the woods every chance that I get, and having a career outdoors would be ideal for me. Amazing doesn't really say much to many of these people. I'm a mother of 4, very motivated in everything I do, and very focused and dedicated when I have a task that needs to be accomplished. I've had experience in the construction field, etc. So I would add here with, I think you said UPS in your resume. If it's FedEx, then I'd just make it that. Many of the things, okay. Completed my bachelor's in April 2018. Believe I'd be a great fit for the position. Hope to be considered. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'll contact you by phone within a week to discuss my application and arrange an interview. Also, the typeface size, I don't care about the font. It's a good plain font. Calibri's fine. But it should be probably no larger than 12-point font. In this case, what you want to be sure is that this is a one-page letter. Other than that, I think it's a really good start. So those are my comments on Ashley's um, um, letter. And so I'm going to now save that. And we'll go down here and bring up another. In this case, it's Brianna's. Brianna is sitting here in the room with me, so she can kick me under the table if I say something that she doesn't like or whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that. I'm going to share this letter. So here is Brianna's letter. Same comment. It has to be the same type, same letterhead as is on the resume, and should include a street address. Okay, to whom it may concern, Medical Center of the Rockies, etc. Concerning certified medical assistants, full-time night resource pool, to whom it may concern. Great start. She names herself and interested in the position. Here, I would probably say that I found on, okay. As I said, these people love to have these kinds of that kind of information. It helps them in the future if they find that nobody gets it off Monster. Then they probably won't deal with them again. They'll know that it's not worth it. But then finish that out. Good set of good set of skills, basically easily seen. These are the kinds of things that they could very well be looking for. I don't remember enough about the job posting to know, but again, this thing should include everything they have listed as important in the job description. These are the things that you need to do. Worked in an assisted living facility. I would take out that next phrase, from which I had left due to certain circumstances. That's not their business. They'll ask you why. You say that in the interview, but you don't want to put any of that on paper. Just say, I've also worked in an assisted living facility, period. For the last 5 months, I've worked as a home health aide for Phoenix Home Health. With my background in healthcare, I've been able to apply my schooling, learn EMR. Very good. If you're seeking a dedicated CNA with extra skills, blah, 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 to arrange an interview. If I do not hear from you in a week, I will call. Not be calling. That's too passive. I will call. Okay. Everything should be active voice. That says a person who's in charge and going for it, right? And that's what they like to see. So everything should be active voice. So we talked about this some the other day, but just in a couple of other comments on that. So we're going to get out of there. We're going to get out of there. And now I'm going to go to Sean's. We have Sean's cover letter. Okay. We'll open up here. Okay. Okay. Same comment. This should have, let's just go ahead and we'll do this. So you need same letterhead as resume. Okay. So that will take care of this first several lines. Again, to whom? Dear HR manager, if this is indeed going to be an emailed position, you can do it that way. But if possible, give a physical address, company name, et cetera, et cetera. Same as comments as I had before. With reference to your advertisement on Indeed.com, great. Inviting application information security officer. So again, right below the address block to the person you're sending it to, Ray, information security officer. You don't even say City of Gilbert. We know it's going to someone associated with the City of Gilbert. For the position of, okay. So you want to say the position of I'm qualified for appointment as an information security officer for an appointment to this position in your organization, and have all of the qualifications mentioned in your advertisement. Over 9 years experience in information security officer while serving in the Army. That's a great line. They'll know you had good training. I'm looking for an opening with an organization known to provide immense opportunity for growth and working freedom to the right candidate. Specialized in securing online personnel information and data. Understand the fact that securing online transactions is a never-ending business with threats appearing out of the blue almost daily basis. Okay, right. I have the temperament for these daily turf wars, and my track record provides the necessary certification for this claim. My experience has provided me with a fair degree of understanding of the mind of the cyber criminal. Okay, so you've had, what you're saying is you understand you understand this type of job, and you have with those number of years, you've developed an understanding of who it is that does all of the hacking. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science, followed by certification in et cetera, et cetera. Good. I am experienced. I have extensive experience with design of security systems, defining access. For my last employer, I worked as a trainer for new recruits and discovered my talent with organization and setting up a I would call that a functional and efficient work culture. Broad latitude offered by your organization to responsible candidates makes this job prospect especially interesting to me. Be a pleasure to work with you. I've attached my resume with this cover letter. Okay, so here I am going to I would just, you don't need some superlative words, so I'd just take out immense up there. Specialize in securing, I understand that. Rule of thumb that I follow is if the sentence can be said just as clearly without certain words, pull them out. So I understand that securing online transactions is a never ending business with threats appearing. We all know they come out of the blue. So I'd pull that phrase out, and then I would add a daily basis. Temperament for these daily turf wars and my track record provides necessary certification. Mind of the cyber criminal. Okay. I have extensive experience with, I would say, EXTENSIVE, experience with design of security systems, defining access, continually reviewing. I worked. Let's keep it all very, very active worked as a trainer for new recruits and discovered my talent and setting up a efficient. It'd be nice if I could spell. Okay, efficient work culture, broad latitude offer makes this job prospect especially interesting. It would be a pleasure to work with you. I've attached my resume with this cover letter. And here I would again add, if I do not hear from you in the next week, I will call to discuss my and discuss my application and an interview. Okay. Yours sincerely. Great. The rest of it looks good. So that's those are my comments on Sean's letter. Again, this is a great start. There's a lot of good information in here. Just clean it up, make it very active, make it look really professional. And let's see, what's the type size? This is Calibri 11. Again, I like 12, and part of it is, I'll admit, I personally see size 12 font much more clearly than 11. It's not that I can't read this, and it's not that it's not clear. It's just 12 is pretty much a standard. Think of it as the same as your APA papers, where the requirement is that you use a plain font and size 12. And again, the font, I don't care about Calibri or Arial or Times New Roman or any of those, but whatever it is, I like the fact that you guys are using plain fonts because you don't know who you're sending this to. If it's somebody my age, they may not be able to see some of these things and read them well. Recently, we had quite a discussion with my daughter and her fiance. They had written up, they drafted a very, very visually pretty wedding invitation. And the problem is you couldn't read it because the typeface, the font they used was a very fancy script font. And even though we knew what they were saying, we couldn't even hardly read their names. So you need to be very careful. When people can't read it, they throw it away. So, and a larger font is just, don't go over 12. You don't want to look like you're writing for someone who's 89 years old and half blind. But what you want to do is have a size that's really, really readable. And oh, by the way, the date up here at the top goes down below your letterhead, of course. So that's what I wanted to say about that one. So let's drop back and get out of there, and we'll go pick up Alex's cover letter. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Okay. So let's, all right, here we are. Once again, let's go ahead and turn on the track changes. All right. What do we got here? Yeah, this is font size 11, so I'd probably make it a 12, but that's okay. So you want the letterhead as on our UME, date, address box, which would be the name of or title of whoever you're sending it to, and the physical address. If it is, again, if it's an email submission and you're sending this as an attachment to your resume, then what you want to do is put down the company. The company ought to be identified, even if it's a recruiter not naming the company. Okay. So then below that is Ray, and then the title that you're looking at. To the hiring manager, that's okay. Or dear so-and-so if you have a name. Name is Alexander Reeves. I'm a competent and versatile individual interested in applying for the AI software development position you have posted on Indeed. That's Indeed.com. Make sure you include that. Professional, I am capable. Here's you want to be careful not to have those little inadvertent omissions. I am capable of excellent communication and rapid adaptation. Therefore, I believe it would be an excellent fit for the following reasons. Currently obtaining BS in CS, familiar with all these various goodies, familiarity with, good line of languages here. Microsoft Office Specialist Expert Certification. Attached a copy of my resume. Touch you within 1 business week. And okay. Here, I will call you. Okay. To be in touch is a passive voice. Will call is active. It says, again, as I said to Bree earlier, it's a take charge attitude, and people like that. They're not looking here for, low-level kitchen cleaners. They're looking for someone that is really well prepared. I would include here, so you have, let's see, I believe I'd be an excellent fit. Bingo. I have the following. What I want to do is pull out this. I have the following qualifications. Okay, so you list that. I would say something here about work experience. I would put that in there. I put in something about your work experience. If you've and again, as I said before, when you're looking at relevant work experience, something that has either direct or transferable skills. Transferable skills are things like teamwork, things like timeliness, things like all of the positive things that people are looking for, creativity. And here is where I also might offer, if you've got some portfolio things, projects maybe you've done as part of getting your degree, say that you will be happy to provide those as well. And in fact, I'd probably put that in your resume now that I think about it. When you're working with some of these things, especially with software development, providing some examples of your work is something they're going to want to see. So, and in reality, I would, if you end up with an interview for a position like this, I would go in with, as part of your portfolio that you carry, some examples, and you may even want to just go out and get a 1 gig jump drive and put some on that, that you can have them take a look at. You can have plugged into a computer. Be prepared for almost anything like that. I would probably try to expand this letter a little bit. That's why I'm asking about the work experience and any of the following skills that you can add, okay? You, by the time you're actually filling out one of these things, you should already have your BS or are basically getting ready to graduate. So this is a sort of pre-graduation job search. And I would say to receive my BS in computer science in, say, June of 2018, whatever it is that you have. So I would really do that. Any of the other certifications you might have, you want to do that as well. But work experience is clearly something they'll be looking for. If you've got, and as I say, you have some projects that you've done in some of these languages, then please don't hesitate to include those. Let's see. And we'll call you with one following within one business week to follow up. And discuss the position and I'm an interview. Okay. Respectfully is a great close. Sincerely works. That's fine. Respectfully is really a good one. Let's see. Okay. So try to expand this. Make it, you know, you don't have to crowd a page. If you have to put in a little more information, you know, shorten the spacing between lines. Looks like your spacing here is double. Yeah. You probably can shrink that down. So I would do that. I'd also make the font size 12. That'll help as well. You don't have to necessarily have every square inch of paper filled, but you can put a little more information in here. Again, the information here is great. It's a good start. Let's just expand it a little bit. Okay. So we'll stop that share and let's pull this up and we'll get out of there and go on to Dion's. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to share this screen. And here we go. Dion. Okay. Okay. Again, let's turn on track changes. So again, what we want is same letterhead as, okay, as resume. We want that really, and complete address here. So this, I don't know if you're in Greeley or Johnstown or Loveland, but nonetheless, let's make that a complete address. Okay, so again, we have an address block with name or title. So this would be Dear HR Manager or to whom it may concern. I'm a highly inspired candidate. Okay, so address block and Ray, the title that you're seeking. I'm a highly inspired candidate for your sales manager position. For the sales manager position that your company take out has. Again, we want this on whatever. Indeed.com, Monster, Craigslist. I don't know which one you got that off of. Resume. Okay. Let's take a close look at this particular second paragraph. The resume here that we're looking at is okay. I am okay. What I would say is don't talk about your resume right here. I would say my qualifications or experience are, and then I would list them. In this case, you can do bullet points, especially for your qualifications. I would say, in fact, I would say that I'd start off just with qualifications. My qualifications are, and you can list them sequentially on the line, or you can bullet point them. And then my skill set follows directly. Perfectly may or may not be valid because it might not be exactly perfect, but it might be. But my skill set follows directly with with those you are looking for. Okay, I would say with those you are looking for okay, and here's where you have your skills here. Okay, avid communication skills, my drive for excellence, strong work ethic. I have the ability to be coached and to coach others on a team. And I would, at this point, I would say my skill set follows directly with what you're looking for. And I would say coach others on the team. And I think I am, and I would say at this point, for this past position. Okay, so now you have your skills, your experience. Past 3 years, I've managed to balance job, family, and studies. Here, I would say, I like this statement. I've managed to balance job, family, and studies. Studies for my bachelor's in business administration. That's a really good statement. I would, preceding that, however, I would just list what kind of experience you've had. You don't have to necessarily list the employers unless that you think that's critical. But I would list the experience that you've had, what positions you've held, and then go to this paragraph that I really like. I've in the past 3 years, I've managed to balance job, family, and studies for my bachelor's in administration. I will complete my degree and then here I would put month and year. So if you're going to complete in June 2018, I would say it. Do exactly that. I will complete my degree. This is if you are still, if this application is being, if the application is being sent in before you actually receive your degree. If you have already received it, I received my degree in, etc. And am looking, let's see, and would love to get a head start on my career path. And here I say, and am ready to get a head start on my career path. There are many things I have picked up in my lifetime, and a few of those are always to be prepared, be eager to learn, and to listen thoroughly. When I call you, reach out is kind of a catchphrase these days. Maybe it's my personal bugaboo, but I would call you on Monday the 20th to discuss an interview. Now, this assumes you've got an idea who to call. So that may take a little bit. Thank you for your consideration. Thank you for your consideration. Taking the time to read this letter, again, is a little bit, to me, passive. And I think, thank you for your, of my application for the position. Be nice if I could spell, of, and then name the title again. So those are my comments. Again, there's a lot of good information here. I'd just like to see you rearrange it a bit, and really let people know what you're available for, and when and what you want. But give them a reason to say, okay, this guy fits our profile. Let's talk with him. Okay? So that's what I have really to say about these. So I'm going to pull out, stop sharing. And let's see, share the screen. I want to go back to, all right, so let's do that in. Let's go back to modules. Nope, wrong class. I thought I had the right class up here. All right, now let's get there. All right. So this week, the APA research paper, written elevator speech, master application, and then second draft of resume, and then you can take the information from this class and redo the cover letter and add your references. Remember, references, you want personal references as well as professional in your available to you, but they don't go with the resume or the cover letter right away. Now, you may reach you may find you may find an or a job posting where they're wanting you to send references with the application. So again, you have to play it by ear. If they request them, send them. Don't stop on that. So that's what needs to be done. We need the discussion done. Remember the elevator speech. We talked about that on Monday. So next week, we're going to get into some other things, but I'd like you to finish off these right away. If you want to look at some of these other assignments ahead of time, go ahead. But the one I want to actually talk about is STAR stories. One of the questions you inevitably will get in an interview is, tell me about a time when. That time when might be when you had to solve a problem with on the job. How did you identify it? What was the problem? What was the um, uh, what did you take? What action did you take? And what was the result? Star stories are really situation, task. Okay, so what was the situation? Um, you might be able to say what was the cost to the company of the situation and what was needed to repair, what work, what task could improve it, action, what did you take, what improvement, how did you implement the change, what suggestions did you make, and then the result. Was the result a change? Okay. So think about these. Think about two of these. Be prepared with that. And this could be, don't, and think, again, think broadly. When you're thinking about star stories, remember that not everyone is going to save the world. Not everyone is going to do the critical thing that's going to take a company from the brink of bankruptcy to, to extreme profitability. What they want is you have a problem. We could not, we had an issue with data handling, say, if you were in the computer field, and no one could solve it, and you were tasked with it. What did you do? How did you solve it? The end result might have been nothing that you can point to. You might not be able to say, I ended up creating a product with $1 billion in sales. Most of us don't. Most of us that even come close don't. I can tell you about a drug that I invented one time that, if it hadn't failed in clinical trials, would have been worth billions, but it failed. But that didn't mean I didn't create it and get to give the company the opportunity to pursue that line. So there are lots of things that you want to look at. You may not be able to quantify the results. Quantification isn't necessarily really good. It might be that what you did made everyone a lot more comfortable with the situation, or made people work together better, or maybe you solved a problem that was just an annoyance and made life a little easier. That's all. That's all. And most of us have something like that. It could go back to school. It can go back to family life. Could have been something that you did in the military. Could have been something that you did, as a Boy Scout. You just don't know. So think about these and give some thought to that. But that's really a critical question in interviews. And then, you've all been through interviews. You probably remember the first time that happened to you, the sinking feeling in your stomach. So be prepared for it. There's no reason it should be a difficult issue. Okay, so and we'll talk about other things next week. Then we'll figure out how we're going to get you interviewed, because that's going to be a challenge. Okay, questions. If you have any questions, please email them to me. Bree, do you have anything? Okay. So if you have questions, email them to me. I hope this has been useful. Please, I took this out and I pulled up these things and went through everyone's, because I really didn't want anyone to feel picked on, because I'm not picking on you. I'm really wanting to help, and each of you can maybe learn a few things from what I've said to the others. But I appreciate you guys getting this work done and to me already. So I look forward to hearing from you all by the end of the week. And the assignment for today, to show me that you have actually listened to this video, is to send me an email with the word Dunedin, DUNEDIN. That's Dunedin. Dunedin is a city on the South Island of New Zealand. So send that to me, and you'll get attendance credit. So thanks a lot, and I will see you all on Monday. Again, 1:30, I will be recording this class. Good day. Have a good weekend, everyone.